Yo, what's up? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. For the next hour, my goal in life is to change the way you think about things. For the next hour, I want my thoughts and my opinions to broaden your horizon. And before I get into everything else, I want to remind you guys that comedian Moonshine Miller is live on Hoppe Hour.
Yes, very excited to be here.
Dude, it's been about 2 years, and I've relocated from St. Petersburg to this beautiful setup in Newport Richey at the Kevin Howley Show Studios.
Yes, you've gotten further away from civilization, but there's better accommodations, so I get it.
I was actually a bit surprised that you were actually willing to even drive out here. I'm very flattered, because when I told you that it was in Newport Richey, you said yes, and I wasn't sure why you did that. But
last night when you messaged me to remind me that this was happening tonight, I wondered why I said yes as well.
I appreciate you coming on, and we will talk to you much, much more, but real quick, if you want to call the show, we actually have phone lines now, 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-49-HOPPE. And I will be sure to take your calls in real time. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. What is your Twitter handle?
Moonshine Miller.
Sounds good. And Kevin Howley, this is his setup, so he's sitting in. How are you, Kev?
I'm doing great. What's your problem with Newport Richey, man?
I love Newport Richey.
I mean, you don't have to be here in Newport Richey. We could relocate the Kevin Howley Studios to, St. Pete or something.
That would be appreciated. It's very far.
Could relocate them out of 1993?
Dude, what's wrong with 1993? That's when I graduated high school.
That's when I was born.
Me too. That's depressing to me.
Isn't it weird to think the year you graduated and your life began is the year my mom popped me out?
That really saddens me.
Well, that proves that neither of us are his father,
Solid. I like that.
What would it be like if you found out that I was your kid?
I would never find that out. I would have run far away from that responsibility.
I could see you just bolting, just running as far as possible.
But you catch me. I'm slow and you have long legs. I'm back,
Man.
Daddy.
We have so much to get into.
I think you should mention your name more in the intro.
You don't like that?
I think you could squeeze 2 or 3 more Ryan Hoppes in there.
What a narcissistic intro.
It sounds like a daily affirmation. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. He's a good kid.
How are you doing tonight, Ryan?
I am doing good. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that Moonshine Miller is here, who will be at the next Mike Kelton Not So Live gig, number 3.
Very excited for that. I wasn't able to do the first 2, and it actually worked out well, because this one's at the Mahaffey Theater, which is an amazing place to perform. It's going to be such a great night. Everybody
needs to check out that show, so go to theboneonline.com. All right, so I wanted to begin Hoppe Hour because you're a native of Tampa Bay, right? You're from here?
Essentially, I moved here when I was 7.
So, are you a fan of the Tampa Bay Rays? Like, did you ever really embrace the team, or are you kind of like how Tampa is, where they don't seem to care about the Rays?
I am a bandwagon baseball fan. Baseball is boring. I don't like baseball. It's slow. It's annoying. I like baseball in the postseason. Look, I went to the World Series when the Rays got into the World Series. I like it then. I like postseason baseball. Regular season baseball, I don't care about.
So, do you think the Rays should be here in town? Do you think we should try to keep them? Because there's news here on News Channel 10, WTSP, saying that there's a new place for the Tampa Rays to play, but there would be hidden costs, and there would be 14 sneaky ways that taxpayers would have to pay. And there's this long list of why we would be screwed if they were to build a new place for the Rays to play in Tampa. Would this even work at all? Would this even be worth it, or should we sort of let the team go if it doesn't ever grow at the Trop?
I loathe any sort of public funding for sports teams.
Yes, I find it despicable.
So the thought of the Rays getting more money out of the community and out of the tax money is just really annoying to me. I'd like to see the Rays stay. I know a lot of friends, a lot of people that dig them. It's nice to have a major league team in town, and I like to be on the bandwagon when they do well, so I can go to the World Series again and do a bunch of coke in the bathroom and freak out. By the way, that's not the way to enjoy baseball. Ripped to the gills on coke is not. It's such a boring game, and then you get sped up like that. Oof.
I feel like if you were watching basketball, that'd be more fun to be on.
Yeah, coke. Way more. Yeah, me and my buddy were the only people standing up and talking. We're just everybody's like, we're trying to watch the game.
And it's a boring place to watch, too. I like the Trop. Everybody should visit, but it has no real culture. It's not like Wrigley Field or where the Yankees play, where you can visit different parts of it and go, okay, this happened here. To me, it's just a place where a team plays baseball. I don't feel much culture when I go to Trop.
I totally agree with you, but it's unfair to to call from your mom. How do you not take the call from your
I
mom?
think she was calling me, actually.
I love whenever I get a call because for those that don't know, the Hoppe TV setup isn't a fancy setup. It's just my Facebook Live on my iPhone. Whenever I get a call,
you listening at home have the same setup as Hoppe TV.
essentially, everybody could do their own TV show.
Who's that girl laughing?
So whenever I get a call,
Oh, she didn't even get an introduction. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
my mom ruins the show. What, Melissa? What's up? My girlfriend's here, my fiance, but I feel like you don't like chiming in on Happy Hour.
I sometimes like chiming in.
Oh, really?
Now, let me ask you this, and maybe you guys have already gone over this, and if it's already been gone over, I apologize. How did he propose to you? I saw that you guys were on the beach. I saw the pictures.
How did it go down, Melissa?
Yeah, have you guys talked about this story yet?
We kind of did, but I want to get your take. What
What's
was...
your take on it, Melissa?
Yeah, because I want the right take.
Okay, so we were supposed to go to a comedy show that night. Well, that's what he told me anyway. He was like, get dressed up, get dolled up, we're going to go to a comedy show. But he was like, before we do that, we're going to go to the beach because we're going to a restaurant by the beach.
Very nice.
And so we go on the beach, and then all of a sudden I'm like by the water. He says he has to go to the bathroom, and then I see him come out, and one of my friends, Trey, is running right out after him. And I was like, oh, something's going down. And then he gets on one knee, and then that's like gross.
Well, that's pretty sweet.
So she
The
knew...
intro of it was, I got to go to the bathroom. The lead up to the proposal was, I got to take a piss.
And then some dude's running after him out of the bathroom.
Yeah. So she wasn't sure she was going to get mugged. Something's going down. Oh, I'm getting proposed to. What did he say? Did he say...
He just said that he wants to spend the rest of his life with me, that I'm the best thing that ever happened to him, and all the nice stuff, the filler stuff.
Filler stuff.
Oh, wow. So you weren't impressed, Melissa.
I was depressed. I cried.
But I like your practicality, the filler stuff, the things you know that he has to say.
What would you have rather heard me say to you? What would have been more romantic? What would have taken you aback?
Not really sure.
Not, I have to go take a piss.
I mean, it followed by, we're gonna go get pizza. That was nice.
Well, yeah, she
That makes
loves
me
free
happy.
food. The reason why I went to the bathroom and the reason why I said we were going to a comedy show was I never wanted her to know at any point that I was going to ask her to marry me. So I wanted her to face the beach and not see me walking back. So I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom. So that was the best part, was she didn't know that I was asking her to marry me until she saw me walking towards her. So it was nice that she just thought we were randomly going to the beach.
That is nice. When you said she was looking at the water, did you ask her to turn around?
No.
No.
Okay, because I was saying that sounds like a hit. I'm going to need you to turn around. Don't look me in the eye. I can't do this if you're looking at me.
It went perfectly. It was weird. She never usually has the attention span to focus on things, but for some reason that day, you were just passionately and very quietly and focused looking at the water. It was,
Well, I just like the water, and I like the sky that day was really pretty out, and so I was just kind of.
So you have no attention span either. I feel like you and Hoppy are perfect together.
Yeah.
So maybe no kids then, because I feel like they require a lot of attention.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird, man. Like, I wonder if I would ever be a good dad. Like, I think I'd be a good dad, but then there's moments that I get annoyed with the littlest thing, and I go, man. Like, I love my two little cousins. They live up north. They're awesome, but man, after a whole day of hanging out with them, I have a migraine. In a good way. I love them, but it's just like after a day of being around them.
One of those good migraines. But it's different when it's your kid, right? Like, nobody wants to... Who wants to hang out with somebody else's kid? Yuck.
Even if it's like your cousins or nephews, you
Well,
know.
no, that's different, I guess. If they're
That's what I'm
parents.
saying is, but even then, it's like your life is done forever because you don't have any kids, right?
No,
I have a stepson.
your life
You don't?
just begins when you have kids.
Kevin, how many kids you got?
I got two.
Yeah.
And they are a pain in the ass.
Sure. And your life really blossomed and opened up. When it was like, look at that. No more money or free time. Everything I've always wanted. I have a stepson. I love him. He's great. Kids are great.
It was fascinating watching Kevin be a parent last week because we hung out on Thanksgiving. Man, your kids take after, they love to talk. Because you're the type of guy at Thanksgiving dinner, you were the one that was talking at that table. Either you or your mom, you guys would tell these tales, and you would make it very wordy, and it would take 5 minutes to get to the
Hang on,
point.
They would tell tales?
Yes.
What is this, Lord of the Rings? We sat down to feast upon Thanksgiving, and the telling of the tales was told.
It's more like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, I like that. That's way more enjoyable.
Very weird.
But dude, it was weird. Your kids talk back to you all the time. And you're just like, yeah,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. Well, they think they're being funny. I told them that. Not like,
How old are they?
directly. One is 9, one is 12.
Yeah, see, that's tough because my stepson's 13. So it's a weird thing where we do joke back and forth to each other. And trying to figure out that fine line between, okay, no, now we're being serious.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge, right?
Well,
Because
when
everything is very jokey with me. I'm
Yeah.
sure you're probably similar.
Yeah.
You know, so there are moments where it's like, okay, no, this is real and
Or
happening.
when they take it a little too far and they use bad words and they think it's
Right.
going to be funny, and you're like, whoa, you're not allowed to say that. You're too little to say that.
What's an example of when they've taken it too far?
Oh, jeez Louise, I have a million of them. Saying words like titties. My daughter was telling me a joke. She's 9, and
Jesus
she used
Christ.
the word titties. And I had to stop her, like, whoa, you can't say that word. you
She
know?
was
That's
making-
confusing to a kid because titties is such a cute word.
Yeah, it's funny.
It sounds
Oh, titties.
adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, when a little squeaky 9-year-old says it too, it's hilarious, But
Gets me stiff.
yeah, what?
What the hell? Wow.
Trying out some new material. I don't know how it's going.
He'll be at Side Splitters next weekend. Wow, we have a revelation here.
It's getting hot in here.
Oh, you dig it too. All right.
I just don't know if I ever want to have kids. I do want to have kids someday, but right now, man, if she were to get pregnant, Melissa were to get pregnant, I would not be ready at all. I was just looking at how Kevin was so focused and had the patience. I feel like I would be huffing and puffing. I'd be like,
Thanks, man.
oh, shut up.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. It's not easy. But when it's your kid, I think you have more patience. Like you have more tolerance. There's like a real love there. My stepson said the greatest thing the other day. We were watching the Florida State game on Saturday, and he was talking about a football game they watched the night before, and he said, they're trying to integrate the commentators more on football program. I said, I'm not sure. I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, yeah, they're trying to get more black and white analysts in the booth together. And I said, I don't think that anybody's trying to do that. He goes, yeah, no, I saw it. They had a color commentator. Like he had no concept. He saw the graphic on the screen. It's a color commentator, and it happened to be a black guy. So he just assumed.
Oh, my God.
The people, like he put 2 and 2 together in his brain. He's like, well, they must be trying to get more black guys and white guys together to talk in the booth. So one's the play-by-play, and the color guy's the color guy.
Isn't it funny the innocence that they have when they're that age? It's so cute and funny when they do it, but as adults, if we do it, it's look out,
Yeah, exactly. And it was. That's all. Like he was really impressed. He's like, this is so great. Like these are the things we need to do to get people to really get along. You put a color guy in the booth.
Oh, my God.
That is hilarious.
Does your kid ever get really mad when a team loses? Like, does he ever have a fit?
No, he's pretty good. He's a USF fan as well. His mother went to USF. So the USF-UCF game on Friday, he got pretty into it. But he doesn't totally freak out. Like, he's a Gators fan. His father went to UF. So he's at peace with losing this season. But in the moment, like, if the team is good and they're, like, maybe capable of winning a playoff game, he gets upset, but he doesn't hang on to it. It's rational, I think.
So I'm from Chicago. I'm a diehard Bears fan. I hate the Packers. And when they won the Super Bowl back in 2010, I was like probably 17 years old. And I kicked the shoe so hard that it broke the window in my house.
Wow. When I was that age, Florida State lost to Miami, and I called out of work.
Really?
Because when I was busboy at a Chinese restaurant, so it wasn't like a very important job.
No, that's very important, actually.
It's true.
Chinese restaurants are- Come on, man. No, but Ryan, when you kicked your shoe, I mean, it was a size 13 back then.
It's size 16 probably.
What is it now?
17 to 18?
Ridiculous.
Depends.
How do you buy clothes for this guy?
I don't. I let him do it himself.
Yeah?
He wears sheets now. Just
Oh, not in
Yeah.
this climate, my friend.
Good one. We have comedian Kevin Holly here. He'll be here all week.
Oh,
You like that use of the sound effect like I'm a wacky morning zoo?
That's great.
It's all 4 sound effects I have.
You're a morning zoo
Tukey.
idiot.
Tukey.
I saw this in the news here. Speaking of Father of the Year, you guys know that pretty boy prison mate that got out 4 years ago and he had the pretty mugshot?
Yeah. The Alex
Jeremy
Jones-
Meeks.
Yeah, he looked like A-Rod.
Yes. He says that his ex-wife doesn't deserve any spousal support whatsoever. It's like, man, no matter how much of a bitch your ex may be, dude, you're the guy that's known for having the pretty mugshot. I'm sure you're not perfect either. Like, this sounds like news that'd be coming from a deadbeat dad. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm surprised that's his big concern after getting out of prison. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to pay child support. What money is he making?
Well, dude, he's actually making decent money.
What does he do?
They claim his ex claims that he racks in $1 million a month being a model.
What? No.
But he claims
she's a liar.
he
I hope
says
she
he
gets
just
nothing.
makes $6,000 a month. modeling.
That sounds a lot more reasonable. She's saying he makes $12 million a year as a model.
No one does. Not even the best looking models.
There
do.
aren't that many brands that need prison tough as their look. You know what I mean? The guy's got face tattoos. You know, I guess if you own a Shiv company, that's your guy. But I still don't think that's paying $1 million a month.
You look at his mugshot. It looks like a guy who's going to break into your house and kill you. It
there's
doesn't look like someone that I would want to hang out with.
That's not his mugshot. That's him in a bathtub. Bro.
That's what I mean. I meant his press shot. It's not his mugshot.
That's him in a hot tub. Bro. Look at this mugshot. He looks real. The prison's gotten too soft. We're going to talk about that next.
Yeah, forget the bathtub pics. Just put his mugshots out there, man. That's what he's known for.
What I meant to say was his press shot, not his mugshot. I misspoke. But I'm just saying, like, to me, that's not a model. To me, he got lucky. Because then you notice there's been other criminals that have tried to pose pretty, and none of them, they're not Jeremy Meeks. They don't have it.
Okay, so what he is, though, he's arm candy. He's dating a billionaire heiress, Chloe Green, whoever that is. This is according to TMZ. So that's really where he's getting his money from. Mm-hmm. He's got an allowance from some billionaire.
Yeah. And you know what? If you go back to that bathtub pic, he looks like a really tan, creepy Jim Norton.
Handsome Jim Norton.
Yeah.
That is handsome Jim Norton, Hoppe Hour alumni.
Jim Norton was great when he came out. I couldn't believe he did it.
I love that guy.
That's what I say about all your guests.
I can't believe I'm here right now.
I can't believe
Hoppe,
you're
come
here.
on, I love you. I
know you love me. That's
you
why you're
look
doing
like
this.
you looked like I'd really hurt your feelings there, and I'm sorry about that.
I'm just used to being beat down. I'm a dead puppy in the city. I'm just a beaten down puppy.
Stop it. You're the host of the #1 podcast in the Tampa Bay area.
That's right.
Thank you.
The Hoppe Hour.
All right, call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. If you want to talk to Moonshine Miller, he'll be here for a while. We're going to come back. But I got to remind you guys that this is being brought to you by Metro PCS and Tampa Bay. Are you sick and tired of your current cell phone deal, Moonshine? Are you just sick of it?
I can't
You can't
handle
take it anymore.
I'm not sick and tired because I use Metro PCS.
You do?
No, but I like them. They're great.
Go to 4330 North 40th, and that's in Tampa. Or you can call them at 813-628-8622. It's 813-628-8622. If you go there to Metro PCS in Tampa and tell them that Ryan Hoppe sent you and that you're a listener of Hoppe Hour, they can hook you up with a great deal and they can free you from the awful service you currently have.
Break the chains! Break the chains!
We will be right back on Hoppe Hour after this. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you are listening to my show. No. Kevin.
No?
So this is Hoppe Hour.
It's fun.
Thank you.
That was fun.
I'm not done, but...
Thanks for coming, guys. I think we should leave the AC on, man. It's not too loud, do you think?
I think we're fine.
All right, that's because it gets hot so fast.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I'd say kind of comfortable.
Let me know if you want me to turn it off.
My texture vomits how I do.
Someone said you have fallen so far because you're on my show.
Oh, shit.
Who said that?
Joe.
Fuck
Stan.
Joe. Fuck Joe, man.
Ask Jeff. Fuck. I guess I could go on there and talk shit to him.
It's still
I don't even know if he's watching anymore.
Oh, well, fuck that, man.
How long's this break, man? I'm going to go pee.
Like 2 more minutes. Who the hell is watching this? Anthony, Tony, David, 4 other people. What's up, Moonshine?
So much, my
Or
dude.
you can visit them right off of
Trying to turn it up so it's not so quiet in here.
Tampa Bay. That's at 4817 South.
Thank you for coming by. Where can people find your work if they're watching in between the breaks?
SteveMiller813.com.
Trust me when I say
I better check that
they
because
are
I hosting.
best in the Bay.
Have you heard about the new
Hosting
deal in
build.
town?
That happened to me last year, too. I said to check out Ryan Hoppe Radio.
I'm about to let you know. It's on 4330 North 40th Street, and that's in Tampa Bay, Florida. And here's the deal. Go to Metro PCS today and get 2 lines of unlimited LTE data for just $80. Yeah, that's right. Get 2 lines of unlimited data for just $80. Plus, you can get 2 free awesome smartphones with 32 gigs of memory when you switch. All on the best reliable network. And make sure you don't miss out on this unlimited...
I got a phone call during the break. We'll see who it is.
Unlimited LTE.
Wait a second. Do you run a commercial for Metro PCS after doing a live read for Metro PCS? Yeah. You get a lot of value.
I got paid decent money this quarter from them. Thanks to Patrick McVicker for that. Dude, people are ripping into you for sitting on this.
So what? What? Like, what are they doing? We'll address that.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that.
I got your back, Steve. I mean, if you want it.
I love your back.
Call Hoppy. 856-49-HOPPY.
Call Hoppy.
That's 856-494-6773.
You can tighten that pop filter if you want. One rogue mustache here. I hate that.
Welcome back to Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Call the show. There was somebody from the 216 area code that just called. 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. And I will be sure to take your call. They sent me a text via Google Voice where I have my phone number, Moonshine, and they called me a pussy for not taking the call. So obviously it's a very important call that they want to have aired on this show.
What?
Also, if you watch Hoppy TV, which is on my public Facebook page, you can comment live. Anybody can watch it. You don't have to be a Facebook friend. Search up Ryan Hoppy. And there's been some comments of people ripping into you, Moonshine, for sitting in. How do you feel? People are saying that you've gone down to a low level for being on this, and is this a charity bet you lost?
Look,
how do you feel about that?
Look, Jim Norton, Bert Kreischer, and many other great
Charlemagne the
comedians
God
have all been on the Hoppy Hour, and I just want to get my name on that same wall. Also, I'm here because you ding-dongs are watching. You want to watch Hoppy again? And look, I look taller than Hoppy tonight, so I feel good about myself.
It is very weird. I'm in this chair, and I'm a bit shorter in this. So for once, you're taller than me. Isn't it kind of awkward?
It feels great. It feels great.
Like you have power over me and authority.
I feel like a real man.
You are a real man. All right, here's the news I saw that I thought was bizarre. I love when these rappers that are quote-unquote famous die. All of a sudden, social media is like, oh, rest in peace, but we've never heard one of their songs.
Can I make a suggestion? Let's move through the topics quicker this time.
All right, why?
I feel like you're flying through them. So it's making me laugh.
Oh.
I feel like we tackled 4 topics last time without really getting into it.
I can't remember any of the topics.
Me neither.
But that's how the show flows.
Like you got sweat building on your forehead. We're in an air-conditioned, a tiny, air-conditioned room. You're sweating, and you're reading through these like you're just geeked up, man.
I am geeked up.
Fish scales.
I ate some, or I had some Dunkin' prior. Not ate Dunkin'. That makes no sense. I drank
You can
Dunkin'
eat
prior.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, who doesn't?
It makes perfect sense.
Man, you had to call me out on my own show, Moonshine.
You're moving quick, man. It's stressing me the fuck out.
I call my junk Duncan. What's up?
Good one, Kev.
Thank you.
Oh, the chemistry between you two. Good one, Kev. Moving on.
All right, it says here from TMZ.com. Rapper Lil Peep died from fentanyl-laced drugs. Okay, here's the thing. I find this bizarre. Whenever any of these quote-unquote rich, famous rappers die, all of a sudden everyone feels bad for them. I listened to this Lil Peep's rap. Dude, it was atrocious. I'm sorry he's gone, but if you're doing drugs all the time and talking about it in your songs, you're going to probably end up dying from it.
Yeah, but that's okay for people to feel bad about it, man. I did a lot of drugs when I was that age.
Would you want people to feel bad if you died?
Yes. I'm a human being. Everybody wants people to feel bad when they die, even people that kill themselves.
But what I'm saying, though, I'm not being heartless. I'm just saying all of a sudden, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon of Lil Peep.
Well, because his music is terrible, it's not even music, we shouldn't care that he died.
Yeah.
You just admitted your age. Like, we're 42-year-old guys. He doesn't write music for us.
No, that's a dirty nursery rhyme, is that what it is?
Oh, shit, man. Oh, we can curse, right?
Yeah, you can say whatever the hell you want, Moonshine.
I like that you can say whatever the hell you said. Hell.
Yes.
You can say whatever the heck you want to say. Let's get crazy. Guy, by golly. By golly.
Well, because I like to be radio ready, so I never swear. Even though you can say fuck on here, I prefer not to because I want to
No,
be
it's
ready
not.
to go on radio.
It's a good decision to make because the career's going well, so you want to keep up the path that you're on.
The career's going great.
Look, we don't like Lil Peep's music because we're 42-year-old grown-ass men. Like, our parents didn't like our music. My dad didn't want me listening to
There's a
fucking
difference,
NWA.
though. There's a difference.
Only because you're getting older now, Hoppy.
Yeah, maybe, but there's a difference. It's terrible.
That's what everybody said. I'm sure if you go
I
back,
know,
if
but-
you go back far enough in time, somebody's like, "Don't listen to Mozart in this house. This is a Bach house, goddammit." You know, that's just how it is. It was Elvis, and you couldn't show Elvis's hips, and it was NWA, and it was the Rolling Stones.
Look
and
at
the
him. Look at
Beatles.
him. Look at Lil Peep. You honestly think he was producing great music? Look at that. Really? You think he had great songs? You think he has legendary songs we're going to listen to in 40 years and be like, oh man, the greatness that Lil Peep brought to the music business. Oh man.
My generation gave a Grammy to Who Let the Dogs Out, so my generation has no leg to stand
At least
on.
they're pronouncing their words. Say what you want about rap from the 90s or 10 years ago, but they at least pronounce their words. The new thing in rap is to mumble and use auto-tune. Because when you see them live, even a rapper like Lil Wayne, who says the words right, they suck when they're live.
Is this segment called "Get Off My Lawn"?
It's like 5, 6, 7, 8. He's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 11.
How embarrassing is it, Kevin, that your daughter listens to mumble rap?
Oh, why do you gotta bring that up, man? It is embarrassing.
How infuriating does it drive you as a father to know that your daughter listens to that? To know that she wants you to put it on the radio? To know that she wants to go to the concerts?
It's like, she don't want to go to the concerts, but I don't want her to know that they have concerts yet. You know what I mean?
What happens when she goes, Daddy, I want to go see Lil Uzi and the memory show for the greatness of Lil Peep. Can I go? It's at the Amelie.
You have to go with her because you can't forbid it. If you forbid it, she'll be drawn further to it.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to go with her and just make it as uncool as possible.
Yeah, I'll be dancing.
You got to
like,
sag your
doing a
pants,
puppet dance,
get some
you know?
facial tattoos. Boom, I'm into Lil Uzi.
I love it.
Dad's going to be the new Lil Peep.
Yeah.
And I said to you, too, you need to ruin the rap songs. You need to look up top 10 songs out right now for hip-hop and memorize the lines. So the next time it comes on Wild 94.1 or 95.7, you can just absolutely crush it and your daughters will hate it.
It's like water's wet. Water's wet. What is that?
I buy it. I buy it.
You would buy that?
I buy it.
Water's wet.
I like it. I like it. You're saying
Lil Holly. Lil Holly.
Lil Kev. I'm already,
Lil Kev?
It's already my nickname, dude.
Lil Holly. Sounds like a good rap name.
Holly's Hobbit.
Dude, what if we were to make a rap song in here and we were to go viral?
Let's do it right now.
it probably would, but for all the wrong reasons.
Steve, can you do like a, can you beatbox?
No, I can do drum machine. I do Casio drum machine.
I have a beat. Let's do this.
Oh, wow. All right.
You hear this,
Who
Kevin?
wants to start?
I'm starting to understand why people ask why I came on the show. Really starting to get it.
You had no idea you were going to mumble rap tonight.
I won't be mumble rap.
Oh, okay, Moonshine. So I invite you on, and you're all cool, but once the mics are on, then you turn into a shock jock. Got it.
How do I turn into a shock jock? I don't want to mumble rap.
Come on, get into
I get it.
Just get into it.
I get it. This is Hoppe Hour.
Oh, no, we can't do this.
No. Now he has to do it because he accused me of being a dick. See, why don't you call her a shock jock?
Yeah. Shock.
I'll just
She's on
ignore
my
her on the
side.
way home, like I always do.
The Jew is already off the bloom. You got a ring on it, and you're like, I can't wait to ignore her.
Has anything changed in the last 9 days, Melissa, since we've been engaged? Or is the love there, and the power, and the chemistry, is it there?
Yeah, what's your take on that, Melissa?
Give us your analysis.
Same as always.
Oh,
So very romantic. Is Hoppy a romantic guy? What's the most romantic, besides the proposal, what's the most romantic thing that Hoppy's ever done?
I know this sounds kind of lame, but like this is kind of a recent thing. But today I really wanted chocolate. He went out and like I didn't even have to like ask him, be like, "Hey, did you get chocolate?" He like bought chocolate for me and came home. with
No,
it.
but see, that is romantic because he anticipated your needs. That's romantic, but like, has there ever been a grand gesture? You know, did he ever stand outside of your lawn with a boombox over his head? You're probably too young for that reference.
it's from an 80s movie.
Yeah, you couldn't do that with mumble rap.
But no romantic dinners? No, did he ever cook for you? Did he ever cook for you in the nude, maybe?
I make her food all the time. Ramen noodles. I'm so romantic. Make good old ramen. I make pizza
Do
rolls.
you wish he was more romantic with you? Drew a bath for you? Put some flowers on top of the water?
Did you just say draw
No.
back?
Yeah.
No.
No?
what would be a way for me to improve the relationship? We're engaged. We're going to be together until one of us dies. So how can we improve this from now on? What do you want to see out of me, Melissa?
Yeah, is there something you could do that would be more romantic?
Just continue to feed me and make me happy.
But
Yeah,
that was
good.
very vague. The feeding thing makes sense because you're hungry all the time. But how can I make you more happy? It's very vague. You're leaving me out in the open.
I got to tell you, man, I think she did tell you. She seems very food motivated.
Yeah.
All the
You brought
time.
her chocolate and she was happy. Now she just wants to be fed. That's great.
Keep it simple.
You
She's
give
like
her
a
a
she's like
Taco
a
Bell
guinea pig.
pizza and she's so happy. You literally are. I'm just going to begin to call you Guinea. Hey, Guinea, what's up? You'll love that.
You're not Italian, are you? Good. If that was the case, it would be a real big problem. A real big problem.
Man, if you were offended by what I just said, call the show. 856-49-HOPPY.
You are the
That's
king of the
856.
segue. Ryan Hoppe, king of the segue.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
I like it.
Thank you.
You run a tight ship, but I'm into it.
I'm trying, man. I bring prep to this. I know a lot of people bust my balls and rip into me.
No.
But I'm trying to make a powerhouse out of this. I'm trying to be a name in radio, Moonshine. I'm trying to make it,
And
Moonshine.
you're well on your way.
You think so?
I'm into it.
You just saying that because you're on and you're on
Yes.
Facebook Live, or do you mean it?
I do mean it. I find that your blind faith in your abilities and your constant motivation to do things inspirational.
Thank you.
Because I say to myself, if Ryan Hoppe thinks he can make it in radio, damn it, I should believe myself that I can make it in comedy.
Has there ever been a time where you've been down on yourself recently?
Oh, all the time. All the time, man. Come on. I'm a comedian based in Tampa that's still struggling to get booked on the road all the time. It's tough, man. It's a tough gig. You know what it is. You know the entertainment game. It's years and years of rejection. So, yeah, you're down on yourself all the time.
I find that hard to believe because I never get rejected. I don't know. I'm not familiar with what you're talking
Can you be
about.
my manager now and just book things for me?
I mean, yeah, sure.
He's already your landlord and your producer. What else is he going to do, man?
I love it. I love this guy. Oh,
You want
yeah.
to start hosting for you too? No, Hoppe, I've said this to a lot of people, man, that I actually genuinely find your desire and your motivation to be inspiring. I'm not saying I
Thank you.
hang a poster of Brian Hoppe up on my
Please
on
don't.
my wall,
That would get you,
You
to
know.
never be late again.
I get it.
That'd be horrifying.
but I'm just saying I do. Like I appreciate anybody that actually pushes all their chips in the middle of the table and actually goes for it. Like 'cause
Dude.
you don't seem to have a plan B. I'm going to be honest with you.
Why'd you bring that up?
And
He's
sometimes in life, that's how you have to approach a
She's
dream,
got
man.
Mel. She's going to be a nurse.
Are you?
There's plan B and
Well, that's
C.
good.
Just
What
go
can
on to nursing school.
What can we do about the sweating? Is that a medical thing?
Probably.
If you're watching on Facebook Live right now, you can see the glistening. Looks like a disco ball, just light shining off that forehead.
Whenever we're hanging out, Melissa, or making love, how sweaty do I get?
Disgustingly sweaty.
Oh, wow, it's coming out now.
So
You've
spend-
never told me.
You spend a lot of time on top, then? It would be advisable if you're sweating that much.
It's like a big long.
I don't want to get crass, because I don't want to be accused of being a shock jock again.
Shock jock. Get it?
Oh my god.
I shocked you. Shock jock. Melissa, how bad is my sweating?
It gets pretty bad sometimes. Sometimes if he's like on top of me, he like drips sweat onto my face and it's disgusting. So I'm like, nope.
So you don't find that to be a turn on?
No.
Yeah, I get that.
Man, you made me feel bad.
Why?
As the
She
girlfriend,
lets you fuck her. This is exciting news for you.
it is. And I'm
Yeah.
engaged.
Yeah.
Who would have thought I'd ever find a girl?
This is the time of your life, Hoppe. You got a successful podcast. You got a beautiful fiance. You're
Huh?
sweating all over her. Yeah.
And she doesn't care.
Yeah.
I have a cat that sucks, and you somehow haven't moved out of my small little ghetto apartment off of this avenue in St. Pete. I didn't want to say which one, but it's not a good neighborhood. How much do you hate the neighborhood, Melissa? Because for people that don't know where I live, and I hope you don't, I live in this weird neighborhood in St. Pete. It's on the borderline of bad, but it's like just very ethnic, very, like there's a lot of house robberies in that. Cops are hanging out all the time.
I like how I said borderline of bad and then he falls out, but there's a lot of house
Yeah.
robberies.
That doesn't sound borderline bad. It sounds like you're in Beirut.
I was there once.
There's a lot of house robberies. There's cops everywhere. Constant gunfire. I trip over needles on my way to the car.
Oh my God, it's all true.
Moonshine. I was there once, and a SWAT team
Oh, nice.
flash grenaded one of his neighbors' homes.
Stop it. Are you
I'm not
serious?
kidding. No, I'm not joking.
Unbelievable.
Meatballs, Scally, Mel, and Ryan, and it was me and Scally outside, and we hear this diesel motor coming down the street, and we're standing in the alleyway, and we watch this like SWAT team tank just show up out of nowhere. So they jump out, they do the flash grenade. Long story short, they tell us to go in the house. They had like machine guns.
Oh my god.
They get back in the house. So we go inside Hoppy's house, and they've got headphones on. They have no idea what's going on.
Oh, so they're recording a podcast.
Yeah,
We were about
Neighbor's
to.
getting raided.
Yeah, we're like, lock the
I love
doors.
it.
Lock the doors.
Dude, I hear gunshots at night.
Yeah, I would say you're not ready for fatherhood.
Maybe that's why he's so sweaty.
Yeah.
You know?
You're nervous all the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know it's not the best neighborhood when the best Bone listener, one of my closest friends, Balls, who has the Balls box and who is a diehard listener of shows like Mike Calta and Drew Garabo, when Balls, the character, of that too, Balls, the character from the Bone, thinks it's a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, it's not a good sign because I've met that dude. That dude is a bad neighborhood. It's a living, breathing bad neighborhood.
Call the show. Maybe you're Balls and you're absolutely offended and you want to just yell at Moonshine. 856-49-HOPPY. That could be the next boxing match here in town. Moonshine versus Balls.
I'm not getting in the ring. That guy destroy me.
I don't know.
Absolutely destroy me.
I'm not trying to call it balls or anything, but I mean,
I'd run out of gas getting into the ring. It's not a good scene. I'm a mess.
I think you have lost some weight, though.
I look like
because-
human mashed potatoes. Yeah, I've lost some weight, but it's like throwing a deck chair out the Titanic.
don't run out of gas in this neighborhood.
That's a good point.
Dude, I'm pretty sure one of my packages that my mom gave me for my birthday probably got taken from my house. Like, it
Or
was
did
probably
she
in the
just
front
say
lawn.
she bought you something, and then, you know.
She may have put it in the wrong address. Who knows?
Maybe it was a pair of shoes and it was too big to ship.
Oh, Kevin! Oh,
Thank
hey!
you.
You'll be here all week.
All weekend. He mouthed the words to that. Did you see that? He mouthed it.
He's memorized all his drops.
Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? Jelly bean? Like 6 sound effects I have.
Have you ever received a phone call in the Hoppe Hour?
We just did. From a guy who said
that
I was a
black?
pussy for not taking the call.
Now it seems like he's a pussy for not calling back.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
I'm curious because you're really hammering the phones, and they're not lighting up.
I don't.
So I was wondering if you've ever gotten a call.
Could you imagine if this show was on the radio, how well it would do?
I can imagine, yes.
What do you think
I
would
can
happen?
absolutely imagine.
If I were to get a show on the Bone, how do you think it would go?
I'm going to tell you, if you could tap into the right market, Hoppy, you could be a giant success.
You think?
But it's going to be some real weirdos.
Giant second.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're going to call this guy, see who it was.
It's going to be your neighbor who's going to go and get your packages.
SWAT's on the way again.
Takes him off with the package.
Yo, you called Hoppe Hour. Who's this? Oh! Hung up like a pussy. So you called the
Or it was
show.
the wrong number. Is it possible it was a wrong number? Is it possible there's some grandma sitting at home and you're just screaming and yelling at her?
Can you imagine? I just woke somebody up from deep sleep.
Yeah.
Hoppe Hour. Who's this? And,
And
they're
you're
like,
just
what?
screaming into the phone. This guy gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning, has a factory shift, got a real job, 6 kids, stressed to the fucking gills. Bills are piling up. He just wants to squeeze 6 hours in for that early morning shift, and all of a sudden, hey, you called Hoppe Hour! Ah!
That dude accidentally missed out on
Fuck is it?
the hour.
It's gonna last a lot longer than an hour, my friend.
But I got a text from them saying I was a pussy. And it's a 216 area code, which is Cleveland.
Throw the number out. No. Why? Because he called you a pussy.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
I wouldn't do that. Even if you're allowed to, I don't want to begin beef. But call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. It's 856-49-HOPPY. I saw this in the news, too, and I want to get your take on it, Moonshine. There is a guy who is a die-hard fan of Charles Manson, and he used to be a pen pal of him, and he has a secret shrine in his house, and he says that he will fight anybody who talks crap about Charles Manson.
So he's got a lot of fighting to do. Better line him up for the rest of his life.
Michael Channels is the secret pen pal who claims that Charles Manson left his whole will to him.
Great. A dirty cot from a maximum security prison. It's all yours. Here's my
Charles Manson.
urine-stained cot.
Can you imagine getting that? You're like, oh my god, and he like hangs it on the wall like a shrine.
Some weirdos would want to fuck on it. Absolutely.
Some weirdos just want to fuck on anything.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, it's called having sex. It's nice.
I wish I knew.
You want a dry spell, Kevin?
It's nice for one of the two of you. For the other one, it's just a sweaty experience. It's
Wow.
like Chinese water torture.
Having sex with me is the way you could get answers out of terrorists, like waterboarding. Just have sex with me for 5 minutes, and they'll be like, okay, I know where ISIS is.
They bring you in, you have a hood on and just a chain around your neck and you've got no clothes on. Maybe a little loincloth. Your size 17 shoes come shuffling in. You'll get the information out of them.
Yeah, they're just about to talk. And
Yeah.
Hoppy finishes early. They're like, oh, yeah.
Ryan Hoppe.
You're so
sexual
edgy,
torture.
Kevin.
I tried so hard. I'm really not. I'm sorry.
You drunk?
No, I'm not drunk.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not.
Yeah, you
I've
are.
had 2 of these delicious.
Yeah, you're a lightweight, Kevin.
I'm not a lightweight. I'm 162 pounds.
Oh, wow. I'm 270.
You want to arm wrestle?
No.
Let's see it.
My hands are sweaty. You don't want to touch my hands. It's because I wore this sweater. If you're watching Hoppy TV, I wore this
You're
dumb
not wearing
sweater.
a sweater. It's a shirt. It's a Henley. That's not a sweater. That's not a sweater, man.
He's sweating.
But it's a long sleeve.
Yes, it's a long sleeve shirt. Shit, man.
Wrong word there. And some wonder why I'm not on the radio. Maybe I'm not articulate enough for the role.
No, you have your own form of language, form of English.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something nice to say because I feel bad. Like I've said so much bad things about you.
Yeah, you're supposed to come on here and be the guest, and I feel like you've been ripping into me, Moonshine.
I feel like I just walked into the spectrum. I feel like I'm
Oh.
on the whole spectrum.
Oh, you're implying I have Asperger's.
I'm being a dick.
You are being a dick.
Hoppy, I've always liked you, and I held
Yeah.
you in very high esteem.
I hit you up 2 years ago.
And I came immediately. Let's not isolate
Oh, yeah.
that.
It came immediately.
Let's not isolate that. I hit you up 2 years ago. Yes, and I came immediately. Oh, piece of
Has the
shit.
show grown at all in the last 2 years?
100%, man. I listen too, Hoppy. I listen to
No,
the
you
Hoppy
don't.
Hour. I don't listen religiously, but I absolutely do if you have an interesting guest on. I listen to it, man.
But you don't listen for me?
Well, you make the guests interesting.
Do I really? Because I don't even know what I think of my show. At times I feel like my show is clickbait, where people had me voted as best internet radio show or best podcast 2 years ago, and I feel like it's just because I'm a name. I can never tell if I have a fan base, because I have listens on the show, but, dude, what gets so aggravating at these events, I love every second of working at the Bone, but at the promotion events, every single listener, they're all awesome, the best listeners in radio, but they go, you don't deserve all the crap you get. And it's like, at some point, I want to be known as the guy that has a podcast that has two local best local podcasts and best internet show local pieces of paper, these awards I won. I would like to be known for something else besides the kid that everyone makes fun of. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but hang on. You just admitted that you were, right? Like, all those listeners that come up to you and say, you don't deserve all that crap they give you, are admitting that that's what you're known for. They don't see you that way. They say you don't deserve that. They see you as something better than that.
But it's like, I want to be known for the podcast. I don't want to be known as the whipping boy.
But that's why they know that you don't deserve it. That's my point. They know that you don't deserve it because that you work hard and do other stuff. That's my point.
Oh, wow. I never thought of it that way.
You know what I mean? Like, do you know how many stunt people throughout radio, people don't go up and say, you don't deserve that? Most of the time they say, you do deserve it, and let me shock you with something. Right? But they're telling you that you don't deserve it and that you should keep going and doing what you're doing. They're giving you positive encouragement. They're not doing it because they feel bad for you. They're saying it because they know how hard you work in the other parts of your life.
I've been a broken down puppy recently. I overthink everything. I don't know if you go through that with your confidence with being in entertainment, because you know how it is. Even though you're a comic, you work in radio to a point. Whenever you sit in on Kelta, it's really weird. You would think a guy that's on every once in a while would be average. But dude, you sit in, man, and you sound like an actual guest. Like when you were in a few weeks ago during Galvin's News, I bored out the show that night. You're that type of guy, man, where you can sit in any environment and you blend in.
I try to, because I don't have my own environment, so I got to figure out, I got to fit in where I get in, right? But no, look, you can't. This game takes forever, man. Like making any headway in entertainment takes forever, and you've done more than 90% of people will do as far as chasing their dream. You know how many 50-year-old dudes and women are sitting at home right now, miserable, unhappy, and wondering, why didn't I do that thing, or why didn't I chase that dream, right?
And what's awesome, too, is my mom's helped me out. She got me going to this radio trade school up in Chicago, and then worked for Rover in Cleveland, and now I'm here in Tampa. So, like, my mom's the one that kind of helped it out, get it going.
And you're doing, like, you want to be known for something more than that. And you're doing exactly what you have to do to get to that point.
And Steve, how many people are out there that are trying, maybe as hard, maybe not, as Ryan is trying, and they're just terrible at it?
That's a solid point, man.
You know what I mean?
It's a great point.
Yeah, and he's actually pretty good at it. You know?
Look, when you get your opportunity, when a station, whether it's 102.5 or someplace else, or some other station someplace else, gives you that shot, and it'll happen, right? You'll be ready to go because you'll have done this enough. And like you said at the top of this thing, that's why you don't like to curse on it, because you want to be broadcast ready. So you're in the minor leagues, taking your swings and getting yourself ready for when it's time to go. And that's what this is all about. That's the point of this. So when people sit there and look and say, why are you on the show, or why are you doing this thing, or whatever, anybody that's motherfucking you over what you do, this is you at the gym, getting ready for when it's time to play the game.
Nicely said.
You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
And if it doesn't work out, there's always changing light bulbs.
Exactly.
I was a janitor after I got kicked off a Rover show, so I can just go back to doing that.
I think that you're a man of many talents.
You're not going to go back to being a janitor.
Yeah.
Besides, robots are going to take that job. So you got to find something else.
Yeah. You could manufacture. You could work on sex robots.
You can clean sex robots.
Ugh. Can you imagine that job in the future? Oh my Lord!
I used to mop cum in porn theaters.
You were a jizz mopper?
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this,
Mm-hmm. I got fired. I didn't do a good job.
dude. What was that like? Cleaning up semen?
It
off
was
the
one of the
ground?
greatest jobs I ever had. It was actually up here in Pasco County at the Pasco Pussycat.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I mean, I never go there.
Sure, no, of course not.
Sure, you never gone, Kevin.
But the theater had a closed circuit TV in it, and I used to watch. You could see what was going on in the theater, and a husband and wife came in one night, and she was fucking and sucking every dude in there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and so what happened is the theater had a door, obviously, and you had to hit a buzzer to let people in. That way people couldn't just sneak in. So I could watch on the closed circuit TV when things were getting interesting. So she's bent over her own chairs, she's getting fucked, and I would hit the buzzer, so everybody would have to go back and sit back down, because you get worried that cops could come in, and that's illegal to be fucking in public like that. So you would watch, and everything would start getting heated up, and then I would just cock block everybody. Everybody had to scatter and go sit back down, and then slowly it would start all up again. But yeah, I would wear my roommate's shoes. He wasn't a fan of that.
What size were they? Just ask.
17.
Oh wow,
No, it was disgusting. You come in at the other night and there's cum everywhere, and you mop it up.
dude. I also
Like a
know
glue
you talked
factory.
about this. Oh wow, 2 years ago, you used to edit porn videos.
I
What's
did.
that process like?
It's just like editing normal video, only a lot sexier. No, I was a porn producer. It's an amazing job. It's an amazing job. Except for, if there's things that you're not into, like I edited a series called Gay Bizarre Insertions, and that was a tough week. Just dudes jamming different things in their assholes that aren't designed to be put in an asshole.
What did that smell like?
Oh, like a ham flower. Like a ham flower.
Dude, I feel like that would be a very awkward set.
It is. Well, I've been in a lot of hotel rooms with dudes and asking them to jerk off into cameras, and when you're eyeball to eyeball with somebody's dick, it's different. It's a different world, man. You got to sort of detach yourself and just pretend that you're watching a movie.
Do you shut one eye so it's one eyeball to one
Eyeball to eyeball, nice.
You
No
should
sound
do that.
effects for that? There's going to be sound effects for that?
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Steve, it's funny that you bring that up, because back in like 96, 97, 98, whatever it was, I lived in Holiday, and I had
You did.
I had a van, and I put it on the internet for sale, $500, right? And it had a love seat in the back of it, and that was it. And the guy that bought it came inside the house and sat down and chilled out with us for a few minutes while we got the paperwork and everything.
Sure.
And he had long hair, and he was kind of short. I'm wondering if it was you. Did you buy a red van with a porthole window?
I never bought a fuck van in Holiday.
Okay.
No, I bought fuck vans elsewhere.
Well, dude, it's funny. The reason I say it is because the guy told me that he moonlighted at a porn shop in Pasco County, and that he's like, he kept saying, I could hook you up if you need a part-time job.
That definitely wasn't me, because I would not run away from that. I would own that story 100%.
Awesome.
I wish I had a red van with a porthole window in it.
I wish you did too. That would have been like brothers.
Oh wow.
But
that could have been a real moment on his show,
It
the
could
first
have
one ever.
And we lost it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It
What
there,
was the
gone.
weirdest moment you ever had being a porn producer? The weirdest thing that ever happened
Sure.
on set?
So I'm in a hotel room with this woman and a couple, and she is having second thoughts, and she's like, I don't know if I want to do this or not, but my son's really sick and he needs medicine, and this is the only, so it was like this. I get told this super depressing story, and it's a heartbreaking story, and they're like, all right, sweetheart, but it's 4:00 now.
Should we
so
take a call?
Yeah, of course.
Do it.
We'll get back to that. Hoppe Hour, who's this? I'm doing good, man. What's up, Aaron? Sounds good. Any other critiques of the show? Thank you, Aaron. My ego needed this call.
What a
Thank
shame.
you. I hope people don't think, because there's a lot of radio shows where they'll have people answer phones for them, and they'll have them say, love you, and you have to say that to the radio host when they take the call.
Long time
And you
listener,
have-
first time caller.
Yeah, you have to tell them how great the show is before you get to your point. I want people to know I didn't do that. I don't have people call in and go,
I don't
oh,
think-
Hoppe, you're so great.
I don't think anybody thinks you have a phone screener.
I don't think everybody thinks you're so
Yeah,
great.
you get one call a show. I don't think you have a phone screener on staff.
I mean, he's 1 for 3. That's not so bad.
That's not
I
bad.
know he's not a huge baseball fan, but he's batting 333 right now.
Those are Hall of Fame numbers from what I understand.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So going back, the girl, you were a porn editor, and there was a girl who wasn't sure if she wanted to do a film.
Sure, and then
And her kid was sick, and she had to pay for medicine for the kids.
She
so
was
what
only
happened?
there because her son was very sick and
Yes.
she needed to make money. And it's like, when you talk about weird, it was the most depressing thing. Because she tells you this long story, and it's like, yeah, that's terrible. I need you to go over there and suck his dick now, then. And you just feel like a monster. Because here's this woman that clearly doesn't want to be doing it, but, is there for the money. And then you have to, nudge her into, don't forget what you got to do to make that money.
Did
So-
you ever get any shrapnel or anything on you or anything like that?
No cumsies ever landed on me. No, come free.
That's good.
My own, sure. I mean, I've come on myself.
Who hasn't?
Yeah.
I need that belly Zamboni.
It's disgusting.
That's not radio friendly, Kevin.
What? It's belly Zamboni. It's not anything bad.
Both of those words I think you could say for
Yeah.
sure. Hey, what is happening with the Seminole Heights killer? Did they find him?
Well, to make a long story short, today there was a McDonald's in
Yeah.
Culver City, and I'm sorry, Hoppe, I believe he was directing that question at you.
No, you're fielding it very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing well. You're a good newscaster for the show.
I was in the car today, and I was listening in real time, and basically what happened was somebody called the police about somebody that had a gun at a McDonald's, and from what I gathered, maybe the car matched the description of a tip that they had received.
And they think it's related somehow. They
Yeah.
think that it may be the dude.
Yeah.
And I'm asking because I'm surprised that we didn't lead with that story. The
Oops.
Seminole Heights serial killer may have been apprehended
They
tonight.
have, yeah. I hope so. Oh my God, sorry.
Man, am I the worst show ever or what?
No, Hoppe, come on.
I'm average.
I mean,
All right, here's the deal. What's up, Kevin?
I was going to say that Kevin probably should have slept.
Anything's better than this crap. Here's the deal.
You got to stop saying that stuff, man. Don't say those things about yourself.
Yeah.
If you're feeling down in the dumps, don't pile on yourself.
I appreciate that.
Don't come on yourself either.
Change your thoughts, change your life. I got a book for you.
You just inspired me. We will be right back on Hoppe Hour. We'll wrap everything up and get to some classy news after this. Do not touch the computer mouse,
Classy news.
that tablet, however the hell you're listening to my show. I'll take like a 2-minute break.
You work at a breakneck pace.
What do you mean?
It's fun.
You like this?
Yeah, it's good fun.
Fucking computer froze. I don't know what the hell that's about.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I'm recording on Audacity.
Oh, the audacity of it all.
Are you sure it froze?
Oh yeah, it totally did. But I always do a backup on Audacity.
Is the internet back on or is it off?
It's working. I think the flash just froze. What do you have to say to the camera, Moonshine?
Hi everybody. I was just looking at this. I was looking at the stream on my phone. How meta is that? Being on the Hoppe Hour is like being in a tweaker's
Paradise.
paradise. Yeah, I think so. I feel like I'm already strung out after 45 minutes. Brian Hoppe works at a breakneck pace. He's the Usain Bolt of radio,
No, I'm not.
and I like him. Well, I don't mean in skill. I mean in speed.
Is that bad?
That you move that quickly? Not for your generation. For us old timers like this who don't understand mumble rap, it can be a bit much.
Do I go too fast when I do it?
I don't know. I don't know if you do. I don't know if you necessarily allow conversation to naturally, organically open up. You rush a little bit.
Well, this is the first time I've had a co-host, so there's a little bit of a switch.
Oh, is it
What
really?
are you
It's
talking
good though.
about?
Well,
I've been here for weeks.
let me re-say that. First time I've had like a comedian sit in.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
No, but
You're saying you've had 3 people. Look, no, I love the way you host the show. I think most people will dig this sort of. There's no dead air. Everything's moving along. But I think that would be, if I were to critique you at all, that would be the one thing. It's like you brought up Charles Manson. I still don't even know what that story was about. We haven't got to that story. You have great stories. We don't really dig into them.
yeah, I agree.
You would hate my show, Steve.
Is it a lot of this? A lot of ADD?
It's like, you gotta listen to it.
Yeah.
Good too. You would love it, dude. It's fantastic.
I will definitely listen.
Fantastic.
I'll listen for
Here,
sure.
Let me give you a card.
Please do. No, but you have the right energy and the right cadence, and you drive the show really well.
Thank you. All right,
It's just
different.
what's up?
it's just me. My brain starts going, "What can we say about Charles Manson?" And the next thing I know, we're
Should I
someplace
give you a
else.
prep prior?
No, don't. No, I don't want to fucking read a script.
All right. Yo,
Drop
welcome
the
back to
chords,
Hoppe
down
Hour.
the chords. It's good.
Why is there that echo?
Echo, go.
Better. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe.
I'm your co-host, Steve Miller.
And I'm your echo chamber.
All right, before we wrap up the show,
This echo is this classy news?
I don't know.
how do
Put
I
the echo on for
how
classy
do I
news?
echoing?
What did you do?
Nothing.
Let me out of here.
Look, I don't know a lot about radio, and I'm the radio engineer, but you did something.
Did you step on something?
You said I did nothing, and that's a lie.
Steve, this is where Hoppy kills us.
Oh, yeah, this is the sound at the bottom of the well.
Let us go.
What is this? It's like,
What did you do?
I'm the ghost of radio past. Hoppy, stop trying. Stop trying.
What if there's no echo for the listeners and it's just in our headphones?
That would be very depressing. We would all sound like we were on a buttload of mescaline right now. Doesn't this sound weird? No, it sounds fine.
Do you put mescaline in your butt?
Yes, it's quicker absorption rate.
Yeah, like a suppository, right?
Yeah, mescaline in my butt and popsicle in my mouth. Don't mess them up. Very sticky.
could you imagine doing a radio show like this? We're just echoing for 4 hours.
Oh, you are right now.
Yeah, we don't need to imagine it. We're living it.
It's happening.
I like that you're making no effort to correct the echo. We're just full steam ahead.
No, don't do that.
We're just full steam ahead,
That's just,
echoing on.
Well, I don't know if it's echoing onto the show or not. We'll find out afterwards.
That's a good time to find out. Let's not figure out the problem
how
now.
long is this show, dude?
Well, it's going on an hour, so we can just end this soon.
That's a beautiful dismount. We're gonna put a button on it.
That's what Steve said at the porn shop. Oh, dude, my laughs get even more laughs with the echo. I love it.
We're killing.
Thank you.
Wow, I feel like our show is going great.
Four
It
people
represents my
this time.
life. Like, it just represents I'm having a good show. And then this happened.
Can somebody in the Facebook thing say if it's echoing or not?
No, Facebook Live's different. So for people watching, they have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, good.
Even better.
I don't know what to make of what's happening right now. I'll be honest with you.
I feel like I'm in a time warp.
I feel like the train is on the tracks, Hoppy is the conductor, and he stopped giving a fuck.
I don't know what to do.
I feel like this is the Willy Wonka scene with Gene Wilder, and you're at the tip of the boat, and it's going down the thing, and it's just getting faster and faster, and you're losing it more and more, and I'm very uncomfortable. Because I don't even know if this is really a podcast or a radio show anymore. This could just be a panic attack. I could just be having a panic attack.
Maybe took some acid.
Yeah. Holy fuck, this is weird. If I was on acid, I couldn't handle this. You're right next to me, and you're 7'5", but
And I'm
you're shorter
sweating.
than me. But you're shorter than me somehow, so that's fucking with my mind already. because I know you're taller than me, but I look over and you're shorter than me.
It's echoing through the monitor as well.
Oh, good. I don't know what happened, but now it's echoing.
Now I got to fix stuff for my show tomorrow night.
Thanks, Hoppy.
I ruined everything.
Don't worry about it, Kevin. He didn't do anything. It just happened. Got a bad case of the echo.
I'm gonna do 3 hours of just like meditation tomorrow night.
Breathe in. Breathe out.
Right now, you should be here.
It'll be okay.
Because
Everything will work out.
Send your money to Hoppy Hour, P.O. Box.
RyanHoppyRadio@gmail.com.
kill him, kill him, kill him.
Sounds like a plan. Moonshine. Where is the show next month with Mike Helta?
December 15th. In the Happy Theater. A few tickets still available. We're going to sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger.
Friday!
Race fans, hot rodders, rednecks.
First 5,000 kids in the door get a free rebel flag.
Go to theboneonline.com for tickets.
It'll knock your socks off.
It'll be the best show of the year. Mike Helta, Not So Live gig, number 3.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man face of the earth.
This is the weirdest technical difficulties ever. Alright, this has been Hoppe Hour. What a way to end. We're doing so well, and we just crashed into the finish line.
It's about right. I think this is the appropriate way to end.
Thank you for listening. If you even reached this part,
Ask not what you can do for Hoppe Hour. Ask what Hoppe Hour can do for you.
Perfect.
this has been Hoppe Hour. I am signing off. Bye. Oh, wow. Thanks for listening.